Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cosmic Conversations. I'm your host, Sheila Steppi, and you are watching us on the Conscious Awakening Network. I always give this little commercial at the beginning because if you have not already signed up to be on our mailing list, please do so. Just go to consciousawakeningnetwork.org and sign up. You can catch our replays there. You can also catch our replays on our YouTube channel, Conscious Awakening Network, or you can listen to us on your favorite downloadable podcast locations such as Spotify, Google, Android, but you can also watch us on our free phone app. So just go to your phone app store and download that. Or you can watch us on Roku, Amazon, Apple TV, or Android TV. So there's my little commercial. Tonight, I'm really excited because our guest for this episode is Aaron Grosskopf, and my co-host for the month is Geraldine Orozco. Now, Geraldine will be joining us here in just a few moments, but I want to go ahead and take this opportunity to introduce Aaron because Aaron, my son used to be a chef too before he got into the healing business. And Aaron was originally a chef in a world-class, French restaurants like PRC in New York City. He transitioned into the field of natural health after discovering its benefits during his culinary career. Now, he became a certified health coach through the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, and he's authored the book, Don't Wait Until You're Sick. I love that. Can't wait to hear about the book. But Aaron also then worked with the late Dr. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this correct, Budar?
Buttar.
Badar? Badar?
Rashid Buttar.
Okay. And as a coach for a head map protocol, which led him to further his studies in the quantum energy coaching. He did meditation practices through Dr. Joe Dispenza and experiences with all types of different modalities. Now, he is going to be here tonight to share with us all about his life coaching. He's going to be here talking to us about all the different modalities, his book. So let's go ahead and Aaron, let's just jump right in. Oh, wait a minute. Before we do, hi, Geraldine. How are you?
Hello, I'm wonderful. I'm so happy I made it right on time. Thank you so much, Sheila, for the introduction. And Aaron, it's so wonderful to see you. I'm so excited to
Hello.
hear your presentation and learn all about quantum energy healing. Aaron is a very good friend of mine, and actually, his abilities and work with quantum healing are really amazing. He really gets down to the core root of understanding how the mind functions, how our subconscious mind programs belief systems, and essentially how we can enter into the quantum field and change that and change our lives. So I'm really excited to share that and have Aaron talk about that. So thank you so much. Thank you.
So before we bring Aaron up, I do want to thank you, Geraldine, for being my co-host this month. It's been an honor and a privilege to have you, and it's always exciting to have you here and to bring your energy in, along with all the phenomenal guests that you bring on too. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here, Sheila. Thank you for having me as your host.
Of course. All right, let's go ahead and Aaron, let's bring you up so everyone can meet this amazing man.
Hello. Hello. Good to see everybody. Good to see you, Geraldine. It's been a while. Thanks for the invitation.
Well, we're excited to have you here. So, as I'm looking through and I was reading all your information, as I mentioned earlier, my son also was a chef before he dived into the healing arts. And I was wondering how your culinary career influenced your journey into the natural health and wellness field.
Yeah, I mean, I was working in restaurants and I kind of got out of that and became a private chef, and it allowed me a little more time to research and look into things. And I guess you could say my first rabbit hole into that led to consciousness was when my uncle was diagnosed with lung cancer, and it was late stage, and he ended up passing on, but, kind of toward the end there, they just, they sent him home. There's nothing more we can do for you. Get your affairs in order. And I'm just thinking in my head, like, this is where we live in the United States. Like, this is the best medical programs in the world. And there's nothing more we can do for you. So that was kind of my rabbit hole into natural health and, kind of rolling that into cooking and cooking more healthy and things like that. It was actually I was researching, and I remember the story. It was a couple, and it was a husband and wife, and the husband had cancer, and the wife was juicing broccoli for him every day, and he went into remission, and he was cured and all that. Well, cured, I use that carefully, but so not to say that broccoli juice cures cancer, but that was my wake-up call to, wow, there's more out there.
Wow. And so now you've gone on from there to write your own inspirational book, Don't Wait Until You're Sick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was after graduating, becoming a health coach. There was, I think it was like a 2-for-1 deal. And I got a more advanced training in health coaching. But then the freebie was a book writing course. So I was able to write Don't Wait Until You're Sick. Which is essentially, it's sharing is caring, and it's essentially just passing on information from, other sources, doctors. I think there was, for about 120-page book, there was about 70 scientific citations in there, anywhere from fasting to essential oils to cannabis to all sorts of things that I talk about in the book.
Awesome.
But I think I need to have a second edition to add all this consciousness in, because that's a very important part of healing and pretty much the world at this point.
Yeah. So you went from that, or as you were writing and learning and everything, you began to study consciousness and the quantum energy. And, Geraldine mentioned that you're a pretty phenomenal healer. Tell us about that.
Well, thank you. So yes, so health coach, writing a book, and that brought me to kind of going to conferences. And I went to the Truth About Cancer series, their live conferences. And then I went to Dr. Buttar's first conference in Pasadena, and I met him, and he was looking for people to be coaches in his healing modality, which is the AHEAD map, which is an assessment tool of how your organs are functioning and detoxifying. So long story short, I started working with Dr. Buttar, and he was approached by a doctor, Melanie Salmon, in the UK, and she created this modality, quantum energy coaching. So Dr. Buttar and all of us other coaches, we went and we got certified in this modality. And it turned out to be, just this awesome modality of working with the subconscious mind to release trauma, to work with medical conditions, addictions, self-sabotaging behaviors. And so, yeah, we went through that training, and that was a really life-changing training for me. While we were going through working one-on-one, peer-to-peer, and just releasing, in practice, I was releasing so much that it was like, it changed my life. And that was in the height of lockdowns in 2020. So I was like healing and having the time of my life. Yeah, so that was one kind of the first step into consciousness. And a part of the work is finding gratitude when we're going through and reprogramming the subconscious mind. Gratitude plays a big part in that. And every time I felt gratitude, I would feel it in my lower centers, my lower chakras, my second, third chakras. And so, and I knew that was my connection to the quantum field. So I'll tell you one more story. So with that information, I was kind of, okay, I feel that. Now I know there's a whole chakra system in our body. Now, how do I access all that? And I was going to, looking for practitioners to release my chakras and release my energy. And fast forward, again, Dr. Pitar was going to a very intimate retreat, a Joe Dispenza retreat in Mexico. And there was a few slots left. So I jumped in, and long story short, we did a meditation blessing of the energy centers. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can do this myself. I don't need to find people and pay all this money. I can just sit here and concentrate on my chakra system. And so in figuring that out and working with that and opening up that system on a walking meditation on the beach, we do a meditation. You're standing and you're meditating, then you walk and you meditate, you stop and meditate, you walk, and then kind of toward the end, you lay down. And at that point of just working on that system and it opening up, I had that Kundalini energy movement for the first time in my life. I've never felt anything like that. And it was, I was on the ground twisting like a snake. I couldn't control my body. So that was, and it was just, I felt like I got kissed by God. It was just a complete release of, everything from the past, pretty much. I just felt like I was reborn.
I like him.
I like him. That's why I told you I wanted one.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing, Aaron. So, from that point, how were you able to combine and how did you integrate your understanding of the energy centers and the quantum field? I mean, can you explain a little bit about the connection between that in how you have experienced it and used that for healing?
Well, for myself, I kind of try to, in quantum energy coaching, that's meditation's a big part of that. Quantum energy coaching is not meditation, but I encourage and try to teach, the benefits of meditation. But to kind of answer your question, the chakra system, 1 through 8, if you can just focus on those centers and activate them with your attention, and just feel that, like, it's, each center is essentially a little mini brain. It's a little cluster of, neurons and everything. So you have like 8 little mini brains, one's above your head. And so if you can just keep your attention on those and activate those and feel that, and then kind of take that and expand that out, balloon it, and you can feel that, and then hot air balloon it, and then you're sending frequency out into the field, and you're connecting with the field. I think that kind of answers your question.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you so much. That's so beautiful. And I'll let you dive into the topic that you would like to share with us today, I guess. And please, I want you to take this time to go ahead and share your beautiful wisdom and knowledge, and we're all ears and excited to hear.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Well, usually I was going to bring this up when we first started, but I always like to start with a heart coherent breath. So if everybody would want to just join me in a heart coherent breath, this is a part of the modality of quantum energy coaching. This is a HeartMath Institute based breath. So if we can just do a couple and kind of everyone can feel that. So if you just place your hand, one hand, both hands over your heart, and you can just maybe envision that there's a hole in the back of your hand. And as you take a slow, steady breath in through the back of your hand into your heart, and feel and envision your heart expand. And as you exhale, your heart contracts and that breath comes back out through your hand. So just take a slow, steady breath in through your hands, expanding your heart. And as you exhale, your heart contracts and the breath comes back out. So maybe just take a moment and do a few of these on your own. Just feel your heart aligning into coherence with your body. And if you want to take one last one slow, steady breath in through the back of your hands, expanding your heart, take it all the way to the top and hold it there. Hold in life in your heart. And as you exhale, just feel that connection. Beautiful. Looks like some of you guys don't want to stop. So like I said, that's kind of when we do in the quantum energy coaching process, that's when we're doing the installation of the statements we come up with, that's the first step in getting heart coherent. So, and if time allows, it could be possible for us to do a quantum energy session. I have like 5 statements prepared that could kind of cover everybody. So if time allows, maybe we can do that. We'll see how it goes.
Yes, yay.
But so quantum energy coaching, yes. So I came across that modality with Dr. Buttar, and this is how I explain it to people when they ask what it is. And I use a fear of flying as an example. So you have and actually I was explaining this to one woman at a Joe Dispenza retreat, and she was like, "Oh my God, I have a fear of flying." And we actually sat down right in the lobby and did a session because her husband bought a prop plane, and she was scared to go fly with him. So say you have a fear of flying, and so quantum energy coaching is a session. It's a part of its talk therapy. So I'm gonna ask you, what's going on when you fly, and this is gonna be kind of like a quicker little recap. So the person will say, well, when what's going on? What do you feel when you fly? And you'll say, I'm tight, I'm tense, I'm scared, I'm my heart, my chest is tight, my shoulders, my heart's racing. So we'll come up with statements, releasing statements for that. So an example could be, I release all fear, tightness, anxiousness, tension from my body, chest, shoulders when I fly. So that's the releasing statement of your fear of flying or whatever your issue is. So we're coming up with releasing statements. And we would probably come up with a few for that, where like, what are the emotions? Where are they in your body? And we'll release those. So the beauty of the quantum energy coaching is that, so you're doing the releasing, and then we're going to come back around, and I'm going to ask you if you had a magic wand. This is a pen. It's supposed to be a magic wand. If you had a magic wand, how do you want, if any outcome in the world was possible, the entire universe, how would you want to feel when you fly? And, the person's going to say, well, I want to feel safe and comfortable and happy and excited to go to a new destination, or, whatever it is. And so we'll create that into a statement. And so that's the reprogram. And when we're doing these statements, we're connected to the quantum field through heart coherence, through a whole brain posture, through gratitude. And when you're releasing, if you're looking under a microscope, a neural pathway will lift off, and it'll reconnect to a new part of the brain. So it's a literal rewire that's happening in your brain. Maybe for those people who are familiar with Bruce Lipton, he talks a lot about that in the subconscious mind. So we're releasing, and then we're coming back in with the reinforcing statement of how you want to feel, around your situation or when you fly. So we do the installation process. And like I said, it's a heart coherent breath. It's a whole brain posture. So you're crossing over your arms, you're interlocking your fingers, and you're crossing over your feet and your ankles. So this is a whole brain posture. It's bringing kind of both hemispheres of your brain kind of firing and wiring equally, same energy on both hemispheres. So heart coherent, whole brain. And then I ask you to go into a state of gratitude. And whatever that is for you, it could be a pet, it could be your husband, it could be a vacation, whatever it is for you, just feel that feeling of gratitude. And when you have that, I'll say, let me know when you have that feeling, and one person say, I got it. And then we'll start with the sentences, the releasing statements. And we kind of go through that crossing and uncrossing through each statement, finding gratitude each time. And that's the key to kind of putting your foot into the door of the quantum field and opening your subconscious mind, so you can send that frequency out into the field, and then bring it back to you with the gratitude. So that's a kind of a real quick overview of quantum energy coaching and how a session would work. Usually around 90 minutes or so, and it's subtle when it's taking its shape. It takes time for those changes to integrate into the subconscious. So it's not like you're gonna hop up off your seat and be like, I'm gonna go fly in an airplane. So kind of takes, we usually allow 7 to 10 days in between sessions to let it fully integrate and the changes take their place.
So now when you do the 20-minute session that we talked about, is that something similar, or is that a different type of meditation?
What was that? A 20-minute session?
Yeah, when you and I were talking, you said that you had something that you could do in like 20 minutes, and I was
yes.
Is that kind of a shortened version of what you just explained?
So that was what I was saying. I could do that with the audience. So we don't have to go through, the full on talk about what's going on with you. I was just saying to do it with the audience, I already have the statements pre-made, so we could just go straight into the installation and do that.
Cool.
Yeah. And it's very, and a part of it is, which is very important, is as a practitioner, a part of the training is Gestalt therapy as well, and a big part of Gestalt is the listening aspect. So when someone is heard, and you're listening, and someone says something and you repeat it back, it can be very powerful, because some people have just never been heard before, and like that can be life-changing in a session. So and also when someone says something and you repeat it back, they're hearing what they just said, and they're like, wow, that can bring light bulbs, and it can further get you further into releasing, like it's peeling the layer of an onion. So you start on the outside, and kind of if I was working with someone with addictions, it's going to take multiple sessions to work on an addiction. The last thing we're going to work on is releasing the addiction. We have to work on all the stuff beforehand first. We have to go through the trauma, what caused it. Most time addiction is caused by childhood trauma. Abandonment is usually a big cause of addiction. So yeah, the talk therapy is an important aspect of that, and listening and really understanding, and it's a way to start peeling the layer of that onion to get to that root cause.
Okay. So now, do you also use the map of consciousness with that?
I do, yes, and I'll share that right now. So this is the David Hawkins map of consciousness. I don't know if I can make it bigger. Is it okay? Can you see it pretty well?
It's great.
Oh, great. Awesome. So when we're working with somebody, that's maybe brand new, a lot of the negative emotions are, down here: shame, guilt, fear, grief, anger. All this stuff this is what's hindering our immune system. This is keeping you in fight or flight. And that's another big thing that we try to identify when we're working with somebody is are they in such a severe state of fight or flight that they're stuck in freeze? And that happens with trauma. It can, there's just, and you can tell by the person how they just kind of avoid questions, and they just can't, there's no emotion to anything. They can't get into their feelings because they're stuck in freeze. They're stuck in the sympathetic nervous system. And that's just going to be, you keep that going for extended period, and it's going to lead to disease. You're just releasing, kind of the toxic chemicals like cortisol and, all the chemicals that are protecting you to run away from the tiger, right? So people are just in a constant state of that and releasing those hormones, and it's just, you get stuck in a loop and you get stuck in freeze. So we want to work out of that. We want to release all these things that are causing these lower vibrational states and hindering your immune system, and move up into trust and optimism and forgiveness and understanding, and ultimately, peace, joy, love, and gratitude. And when you're up in these states, you're in, you're back in your parasympathetic nervous system, where you're more relaxed, and you can still have the stress, and the stress can still trigger those negative, those negative chemicals. But after a while, the stress happens and you calm back down, you can reset and get back into that parasympathetic, where some people are just stuck in that sympathetic nervous state.
With the people you work with, do you find that more people are in one block than the other?
I think most people come and they're pretty down here with fear, grief, anger. They're kind of in this lower area, this lower part of the triangle. So and this resonates with them because that's what they're feeling, and they're seeing it written there, and they're looking like, wow, I can get up into these higher parts and feel better. It's kind of interesting too. If you were to draw a stick man to the right of this, you can see, all of these kind of negative emotions, or if you looked at that and you lined up and you drew the energy centers, the chakra system, all of these emotions are down in those lower centers. And then as you kind of you move up into your heart, and you're starting to feel optimism, forgiveness, understanding. And then, you kind of, you move up to the cosmos, and you're feeling great. So it's kind of interesting. It kind of lines up with the body like that.
Aaron, what is the importance of regulating both hemispheres of your brain? Why are we crossing our hands in our legs? What is that doing to us?
So that's gonna bring both hemispheres of your brain kind of firing and wiring coherently. So it's kind of bringing them together. Maybe, people are right brain, left brained. So one side might be a little stronger than the other. Maybe the frequency in one side is a little stronger. So you're going to kind of balance that out, and that's balancing is just going to help you open that door to the subconscious, to the field. And so, yeah, I'm not sure. I took the training so long ago. I don't remember exactly where Dr. Salmon got that from. But yeah, it's just kind of like second nature to me now. I don't even think about it.
Yeah. Well, no, that's amazing. I mean, in Qigong, usually when we're, working, we do the exact same movements in order to rebalance the energy imbalances in the body. So we either cross our hands or our legs, or we tap one knee, the other knee, lifting up the knees, alternating, in order to reset the brain, exactly as you mentioned. And one of the reasons why is because that actually brings the mind into a state of receptivity. Like we are actually like resetting and becoming programmable at that point, because you come into that neutral point. So it's like perfect, because you create an environment for receiving, whatever it is that you're, the inputs that you're going to put in.
Exactly. And then while you're in that whole brain position, you're crossed over, your heart coherent. So your heart's in coherence, your brain is in coherence. And if you're really good, you can get into heart brain coherence. And that's Joe Dispenza's formula for, everything, pretty much in his work is heart brain coherence. And so when you're reset like that, you're in heart brain coherence, and then you're crossed over, we go into the state of gratitude. And, gratitude is the ultimate form of receivership. So, those are kind of the three powerful things that are, opening, getting your foot into the field, opening it up, and being able to reprogram the subconscious mind. And it takes a half hour to do that. So that, there's the statements that we come up with, they're not mantras. You don't have to keep repeating them. It's a one and done thing. So, because you're hardwiring that into your subconscious, like right on the spot. Now, if we do a session and, I send the statements to the client, a day and a half, 2 days later, so they don't think about it and let it take its place. So if they read a statement and they still feel emotion around it, but so it works if you go back and read the statement and you feel no emotion, you feel nothing reading that statement that was triggering you before, it took its place. If you do feel emotion around it, it's a sign that we need to go deeper. There's something more to the root cause of that.
Wow, amazing. How would you describe the quantum field? Or like when we connect to the field, what is it that we're getting? Are we getting information from the quantum field? Are we the quantum field? And how is the process of programming and deprogramming connect to this concept of the quantum field, I guess?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we are the quantum field. We're in this illusion. We're in this separation right now. But we're light. We're reflecting light that is, coming across as a 3D, and there's things, but everything is vibrating, even at the, that everything, even a solid object is vibrating at a very low vibration. So yes, we are the quantum field. The quantum field is us. We are everything and nothing at the same time. We're everywhere and nowhere. And so for me, okay, so connecting to the quantum field, and I do this. I practice this with I host a meditation every Tuesday night, and I'm here. Let me plug it real quick while we're here. And if you wanted to join in on Tuesday night meditations,
that's so cool.
here's a QR code for Telegram. I know not everyone's on Telegram, but yes, that's a Telegram. Join the group, and the link to register for the meditation is in the pinned messages. So this is something that Dr. Buttar was doing before he passed away, and I took this over for him. So, and if you don't have a camera, just at TN meditation on Telegram. So I'll keep that up for a little longer. But so to get back to the quantum field, and so we practice this in our meditations on Tuesdays. And yes, connecting to the quantum field you're receiving energy. You're going to receive energy. And so we practice getting into heart-brain coherence. We relax ourselves. We focus on our heart. We breathe into our heart. We expand our heart, and we just activate your heart center. And then we move up to the brain. And I usually focus on the pineal gland, that little. And there's a few people who are in the meditation room. They're probably going to start like meditating right now. That little pine cone shaped gland in the center of your head. We focus on that. We breathe into that and envision that expanding and contracting. And then we go back down and we feel them both at the same time. Same energy, same frequency between the heart and the brain. It's a dance. It's a love affair. So that's Joe Dispenza's formula. And so depending on what we're focusing on in the meditation, it could be, we could be doing something around manifestation. We did one, I think, last week we did releasing. So we worked on more of the centers and we shot the energy up. And I wanted everyone to have that Kundalini experience the best I could, and to activate the centers and shoot that energy up through your heart, through your throat, into your brain, and shoot it out into the cosmos, so we could get that energy moving. And so you're creating a magnetic, field around you that's coming up and out, It's there. You can't see it, but everyone has one. And so to receive the energy of the field, we then reverse that. So we're moving the energy up and out, and kind of the idea is to kind of clear things out. And then we go to 8, your 8th center just above your head. We get into that, we activate that, we feel it, we open it, we breathe into it, we sit in the middle of it. And then we start to take breaths in from 8 back down into the body through the chakra system. And that's reversing that field, and that's bringing all that quantum, cosmos, your creators, energy back into the body. So that's kind of how I look at the quantum field and try to interact with that. I'm always trying to feel it, and whether it's through your chakra system, your energy centers, or if it's through your heart, brain, or just your whole body. Just how far can your awareness go? How far is forever, is infinite, right? So that's what you want your consciousness. You want to become pure consciousness and just go as far, feel as far out as you can go. Like, I mean, it's just endless, right? Sometimes I use a visual of just me sitting in a chair, and I'm just getting smaller and smaller and smaller as I'm expanding my consciousness into forever. And all of a sudden I disappear. And that sometimes that for me, that helps me connect to that field. I don't even know if I answered your question at all.
Wow, that's beautiful. Yes, you did. Thank you so much. What a beautiful answer. Sheila, did you have any questions?
Yeah, I was really curious. When we blend like natural health with quantum energy practices, do you find that helps to really expedite the conscious expansion process?
I think that depends on the person and your mindset. If you go to a Joe Dispenza retreat, he's always kind of poking fun at go eat your gluten-free crackers, your triple filtered water. And also, in these retreats, we do coherence healings on people. We do in-person healings. Like there's someone laying on the floor and there's 8 people around in a cage, and we're healing that person. And sometimes, well, almost all the time at these retreats, someone gets out of a wheelchair or has, some big healing, and he'll bring that person on stage, and they'll talk about it. And then he'll stand the people up who healed that person, and he'll look at them and say, "Do you eat meat? Do you eat, what did you have for lunch? Burgers and fries." So, it kind of depends on the person, I think. But I think there's definitely foods that can lower your vibration. Causing inflammation in your body is probably not the best when you're trying to be conscious and make connections. It might hinder. It might not. You might be able to just that's nothing for you. So I really think it depends on the person.
Okay, great. And then I wanted to ask one other thing real quick. How can people use quantum energy principles to help them overcome their own emotional blockages or trauma that they have that's really stored, deep within their cells? Because a lot of times people really just don't realize how much trauma is packed in these little cells until they start to release it.
Totally, exactly. And that's the onion, peeling the onion. So it's really just asking the question of what they're working on in the session, and going in and trying to get deep into that and what that is. And we do have something that's called the trauma formula. And so this is really based on a trauma is usually an outside circumstance happened, an experience that you had is obviously very negative, that was traumatizing. So releasing the trauma what the emotions of the trauma, where it is in your body, and then forgiving whatever the person or thing that caused the trauma, forgiving that person. And it's not, and a lot of people have a problem with that. Like, I don't know, I'm not ready to forgive. But it's not forgiving the person as in it's okay that you did that now. It's releasing you from them. You know, it's cutting the cord between you and them and just being able to move that, release that, let it go, and then move on, move forward and into, and then, you know, so we go from the release to the forgiveness to the reinforcing statements of, you know, the magic wand. How do you want to feel if any outcome was possible?
Here, I'm just sitting here talking away on mute. So yeah, thank you so much for that answer. Now, before we began, you were talking that you had like a little meditation practice or an exercise that you could lead us through. And I was wondering if you would feel comfortable in doing that now.
Sure. Yeah, we can definitely do that. And this is this is essentially the end part of a QEC, a quantum energy coaching session. This is the installation process. And so it'll probably take, well, maybe 15, 20 minutes. And is that okay with you guys? Is that enough time?
Perfect.
If we go over, is that okay? Or are we kind of like strict on?
I think we're good.
Okay, cool. All right. So these are I did this before at a conference in Acapulco that I spoke at, and I was live with the audience, and it worked out pretty good. So these are the statements I came up with. So like I said, the releasing statement, and I'm kind of keeping it I guess you could say broad, and just kind of based on the state of the world, and just if you watch the news, the headlines you see of just this, like, you know, there's just all this crazy out there, right? And that, you know, even if you don't pay attention to it, but you catch that headline, you know, your subconscious is picking up on that. So I figured this is a good way just to kind of release. So I release all fear, anxiety, anger, guilt, and shame from my body around potential outside circumstances. And maybe there's some people who are just listening, so I'll just read through these. So then I'm free from the thought that anything outside of myself can affect me, which is a pretty powerful statement. You know, just everything is up to you pretty much, right? Like, people can trigger you, but if they trigger you, that's on you, you know? So that's another statement. And then I transmute any lower frequency into coherence, pure love, and perfection. So, and I feel that is like giving yourself permission to connect to the field. You know, the quantum field is a loving intelligence. Whatever that is for you, that, you know, the cosmos, the quantum field, your creator, God, Allah, whatever that is for you, you know, that's that loving intelligence. So that's the third statement. And then I feel, so then now we're going to go into the, well, that one's kind of a reprogramming statement, a restorative statement. And there's another one. I feel peace, joy, gratitude, and love, regardless of what is going on around me. And then I am surrounded and protected by the frequency of pure love all the time. And then this is the last statement is something that we do at the end of a session. Everybody does this. I broke it in, I put this into one statement, but usually it's three. And it just rounds out the session. It kind of just gives yourself permission to let all of this take its place and settle in and make the changes in your subconscious, which is, I am safe and I deserve to be the frequency of pure love. All right. So with that said, let's do this. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that heart coherent breath again. So just place your hands over your heart, one hand, both hands. Envision there's a hole in the back of your hands, and just take a breath in through the back of your hand into your heart, expanding it. And as you exhale, your heart contracts. The breath comes back out through your hands. Just slow, steady in through your hands into your heart, expanding it. And as you exhale, that breath comes back out through your hands, contracting your heart. So just take your time and do a few more of these heart coherent breaths. Feel your body relaxing as you're inhaling and exhaling, expanding and contracting. And maybe just take one more slow, steady breath in, expanding your heart all the way in. And as you exhale, just feel your heart contract and the breath come back out. All right, beautiful. So at this point now we can cross our arms, interlock your fingers. You can just drop that down into your lap, or you can fold it up. Perfect. See someone doing that. And now cross over your feet and your ankles, doesn't matter which way. And so we're in our whole brain posture. And now just find gratitude. Find a state of gratitude, whatever that is for you. What are you grateful for? Just find that feeling of gratitude, love, appreciation. Take your time. And I'll just kind of assume that everybody has that feeling. And so you can repeat after me, either out loud or in your head. I release any and all fear, anxiety, anger, guilt, and shame from my body around potential outside circumstances. So just let that statement drop into your subconscious. Let it just wade back and forth and sink into your subconscious mind. I'm going to repeat the statement for you. You don't have to say it back. I release any and all fear, anxiety, anger, guilt, and shame from my body around potential outside circumstances. Just letting that drop in. Okay, I forgot to explain this part, but this is the cool part. So uncross your feet, uncross everything. Bring your 5 fingertips together. And this is going to seal it into the subconscious. Perfect. All right, that's the first statement. So we're going to cross over our feet, our ankles, cross over your arms, interlock your fingers. Take your time. Find that place of deep gratitude. Feel a sense of love, appreciation, whatever that is for you. And you can repeat after me. I am free from the thought that anything outside of myself can affect me. I just let that drop into your subconscious. Let it take its place. I am free from the thought that anything outside of myself can affect me. Beautiful. So you can uncross everything. We'll bring our fingertips together and we'll seal it into the subconscious. Perfect. You guys are doing great. All right, crossing everything over. Our whole brain posture. And again, take your time. Find that place of gratitude. Feel the gratitude. And you can repeat after me. I transmute any lower frequency into coherence, pure love, and perfection. Just let that drop into your subconscious. I transmute any lower frequency into coherence, pure love, and perfection. Perfect. So you can uncross your arms and your legs, and we'll put our 5 fingertips together and we'll seal that in. All right, we're halfway there. So crossing everything over. Take your time and find that feeling of deep gratitude, love, appreciation. And repeat after me. I feel peace, joy, gratitude, and love, regardless of what is going on around me. Just let that statement sink in. I feel peace, joy, gratitude, and love, regardless of what is going on around me. Beautiful. Uncrossing your feet, your arms, putting our 5 fingertips together, sealing it into the subconscious. Beautiful. 2 more. Crossing everything over. Find that state, that feeling of deep gratitude. Whatever that is for you. Feel a sense of love for it. And you can repeat after me. I am surrounded and protected by the frequency of pure love. I am surrounded and protected by the frequency of pure love. Perfect. Uncrossing our arms and our legs. Bringing our tips together, 5 fingertips together, sealing it in. Awesome. All right, 1 more. Crossing everything over. Whole brain posture. Going into that state of gratitude. That connect to that pure love, that intelligence that's all around us. Repeat after me. I am safe and I deserve to be the frequency of pure love. Let that drop into your subconscious. I am safe and I deserve to be the frequency of pure love. Awesome. Uncrossing your feet, uncrossing your arms, 5 fingertips together, and we'll seal that in. Excellent. Guys did great.
Aaron,
Uh,
when we
Yeah.
bring our fingers together, can you explain what that's doing, especially with the neural pathways in the brain?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, so you're making that just kind of, it's just sealing it in, just kind of you're coherent, you're crossed over whole brain, you're in gratitude, you're open, to put that information out, to make the change. And then we're kind of just, whoop, seal it off, and the change is, is putting the top on.
Ah, okay, great. Thank you.
Mhm.
Wow, that's very powerful. I was thinking as we were going through this, is this an exercise that you have in your book, or is this something that you have added since?
No, it's not. I haven't. This is way after the book, a couple years after the book. That's why I was kind of saying I need to do an add-on.
Ah,
Yeah.
awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Yes, yes.
How was that for you, Geraldine?
Oh, it was phenomenal. And I just want to mention about the finger terminations of the finger points. And I'm sure, Aaron, you know this, but just want to mention that, every single part of the body is interconnected to the entire organism. And actually, the very points of the fingers are the pressure points that connect to the parts of the brain, the different main parts of the brain, to the head, to the brain. And what happens is that when you reconnect the sensory part of the body in the pressure points of linking them, it ignites and it activates those parts of the brain that help solidify those programs into the subconscious mind. So it's actually neurologically and biologically, it's actually a beautiful science that you're sharing with us, Aaron, that interconnects these programs into the body. So I really loved it. Thank you so much, Aaron. You're amazing. And
Sure.
yeah, thank you so much for sharing all of this with us.
Yeah.
Where can people find you, and how can they connect with you if they're interested? And for sure, I'm going to join your meditation. Is it every Tuesday?
Yeah, just about. If you register, you get reminders. So if I need to cancel for whatever reason, I'll put it in the group, or a cancellation email will come. But yeah. If you want to go
Sorry,
ahead.
do you want to pop that QR code back up so people?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There you go.
Great.
And so, yeah, even if you don't have you can just do at TN Tuesday night TN meditation, at TN meditation. And if you
What does TN stand for again?
Tuesday night meditation.
Oh, Tuesday night. Okay, awesome.
And if anybody wants to, check out, you can send me an email at QECAaron@proton.me, AARON. You can also go to my website, QECAaron.com. You can contact me through there. You can contact me through the Telegram group. And yeah, those are good spots.
Beautiful. And for people who were participating in the meditation, if they would like to get a copy of that list, should they send you their email, or do you want to pop that back up? How do you want to handle that?
Yeah, I can pop that back up, or if
Okay, great.
you can contact me for sure. There
Oh,
you go.
yeah. This is so nice.
You can maybe just take a screenshot of it, or
And you customize these in the sessions, right? Obviously.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's exactly what the person's words. It's,
Right.
I don't implement any of my own, thoughts, or, I might sometimes try to, kind of inch the person towards something, that I feel like that it needs to come out, but they just can't find it. But everything's in their own words.
Right.
Before we go, I was wondering if I could share a few things.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, and this is, so when I began the Joe Dispenza work, going to the retreats and all that stuff, I became, there was a small group that formed, which is turned into Inner Science Research Fund. And so this is the nonprofit that funds the science that they're performing at Joe Dispenza retreats. And so I wanted to, I'm going to share another QR code here, just to get you to the site. This isn't a, I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you see it?
Yes.
Just a black QR code. Yeah. Okay. There it is. So I mean, I'll tell you, this is an affiliate link. Now, this weekend, the documentary called Source, It's Within You, is playing for free for the whole weekend. I highly recommend watching this documentary. It's explaining the miracles that are happening at these retreats and in meditation, just for meditation. People go to a retreat for 7 days. There's a doctor who had metastatic stage 4 cancer all over his body, and one interaction with that energy, with that loving intelligence of the quantum field, it's gone. It just disappears. It's an upgrade. There's so many upgrades that happen at these retreats. So highly recommend watching Source. It's Within You. That's the QR code. It's playing for free over the weekend. And then also, I'll keep that up. Also, in terms of just raising consciousness in the entire planet, Joe Dispenza has also done what is called Walk for the World. So this is a walking meditation where a couple 100,000 people all over the world were doing this walking meditation at exactly the same time, like 10 a.m. Eastern time. So there's another one coming up in October. I think it's the 12th. So I highly recommend finding that. I think the website is walkforthe.world. And maybe finding, there's a way to find groups that are maybe in your area, or you can form your own group, or at least just go download the free meditation. It's an awesome meditation. It's a walking meditation. Anybody can do it, kids, family. So just real quick, in doing this, hundreds of thousands of people around the world meditating at the same time. They worked with Heart Math Institute, and they have machines around the world, and they were measuring the Schumann resonance of the earth during this walking meditation. And there was a change in the Schumann resonance of the entire earth from a couple 100,000 people being conscious at the same time. So
Wow.
everyone get out there. I'll be out there. I'll be thinking about you guys.
That's awesome.
That's
Awesome.
great. I hope I can join. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just imagine if half of the planet joined in something like this, the type
Exactly.
of shift
What a
that could
dream.
truly take place. Aaron, it's been so wonderful to have you. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for being here. Geraldine, again, thank you so much for being my co-host this month. Aaron, one more time, and Geraldine also. Let me start with Geraldine. If people want to find you, Geraldine, how can they do so?
Yes, if you want to connect with me at geraldineorozco.com. And I want to thank Aaron so much for making time to come and join us. It's been such a pleasure to hear everything about what he specializes in. You can also check out my YouTube at geraldineorozco.com, and I have a lot of free content there that you're welcome to. Thank you again for having me, Sheila. It's been an honor to be here.
Thank you for being here. And Aaron, again, one more time, how can people find you?
Yes, QECaaron.com. It's pretty easy. QECaaron.com. And you can send me an email through there, or the past things, the meditation link, or whatever. Yeah, that works. Find me. And I really appreciate it, Sheila. Thanks for having me, and Geraldine for the invitation. It was a awesome time. I could go on for another hour.
Woohoo! Well, we'll have to get you back.
We can do a meditation next time.
There you go.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, Aaron, thank you again. Geraldine, thank you. Thanks to all the audience that's watching. We really appreciate it. And everyone, you've been listening to my co-host, Geraldine Orozco, and Aaron Grosskopf, our guest tonight. And we thank you guys so much for being here. And until we're back together again, much love and have a beautiful week. So namaste, everyone. Much love. Thank you. Good night,
Right.
everyone.